Half-Life has always used dialogue to expand its world beyond what players see and do, and a lot of it goes unnoticed by first and even second or third timers. Of all the interesting character lines, there's one that always sticks out to me because of its implications. At the end of Half-Life 2, you come face to face with Outbid Breen, the literal man who sold the world. My favorite part of this scene is when he looks you in the eyes and calls you out for what you are, a puppet of the G-Man. But then, he also infers something interesting.
Did you realize your contract was open to the highest bidder?
Players aren't given time to dwell on the line, but I did anyway, and I got to thinking. Does he mean that he also had a bid on Gordon's contract? If so, then he was clearly outbid. But who would have outbid Breen? Here's my 2 cents on who it could have been. Disclaimer, nobody knows everything about Half-Life lore, not even Valve. This theory about the app about total nonsense or pure truth. There's no way of telling. Also, major spoilers for the entire series. So to start, this theory has a couple rules. We have to limit it to characters we actually know, have an interest in helping humanity, and who know the G-Man. So that only really leaves a few characters. Eli Vance, the Vortigaunts, and Odessa Cubbage.
Damn!
You've probably already written off Odessa in your head, but with so few options, I'm gonna take them all seriously. We see Cubbage and G-Money talking at NLO from a Combine listening post across the coast. Odessa is clearly pro-human and is too spineless to stop the Combine by himself. It'd be in character to have someone else do the job for him. However, I doubt G. Skillet respects Cubbage enough to let him in on something like that. When we see them meet, he's probably just giving orders to Odessa, who is probably nothing more than a pawn to him. Sorry, Cubs.
Well, that's that.
Galalong.
The Vortigaunts, on the other hand, can be strong enough to stand up to G-Meister, and know a lot of things that we don't. There's a chance they'd be able to make a bid for Freeman's contract, and since he's done a lot for them, they'd probably want to return the favor. They're a good fit for a sponsor, but I still see a few issues. For starters, G-Force and the V-Boys aren't on good terms. Their power cancels out his own, as we've seen a couple times in the series, and being blocked like that clearly pisses him off. I doubt he'd want them close enough to make a bid on any of his contracts, because getting so close might have made it easier to pull in Episode 1. Also, assuming they even wanted to follow G-House rules and buy the contract, what would they pay with? I doubt that higher beings like the G-Man or his employers deal with regular money, and the only thing the Vorts have anymore that's any valuable is each other, which I think is just too steep a price for them to pay.
This is regrettable.
I never thought it would take you this long to get back to me.
Eli is the character who seems to know G-Funk most closely. He was visited personally, right before the Resonance Cascade, and G-Toast even saved his daughter from the aftermath, albeit for his own reasons. Clearly Eli hates the guy, but G-Man doesn't seem to interact with people that he isn't interested by, like we saw with the Half-Life 1 expansions. Maybe Eli, through some miracle, was able to place a bid for Gordon's contract, but what would he give up? Is there anything Eli could possibly offer that Breen couldn't match? What's the most important thing he lost during the Half-Life 2 saga?
No!
That's right. I think Eli bargained his own life for the rights to Gordon's contract, which is a wager Breen wouldn't dare to match. I believe that his death in Episode 2 is G-Stump influencing events to finally collect what he's owed. It's at the perfect time, too. Eli was ready to tell Gordon as much of the truth as he knew, and that would have been bad for business. But wait, you might be asking. At the end of Half-Life Alyx, G-Mate retcons Eli's death. He's alive now, and Alyx was hired. Well, G-Snip is a slimy fucker, as we all know, and I think the ending of Half-Life Alyx was his way of changing the terms of the contract. Eli was allowed to keep his life, and in exchange, our G-Boy took something even more precious from him, something he would have never wagered. Maybe it was sort of a punishment for the Vortigaunts meddling. We know that they collaborate with Eli, so G-Chan might have changed the terms of the contract to counter the change in Gordon's employment status. He's got a replacement contractor, and he hurt a prominent collaborator against him. He made a big mistake replacing his old employee, though. Now that Gordon is truly a free man, his mentor has been betrayed, and his love interest has been taken, he'll be on the warpath. And if there's any mortal that can defuse the G-bomb, I'd bet on Orange.